Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight analysis video. All right, y'all. Jamal James versus Radzhab Butaev. Man, this was a good fight. This is a good fight. This was Jamal James' his first fight in Vegas and his first fight on Showtime. And man, his first stoppage loss. You know, he was coming in with just one loss. And yeah, man, Butaev, he just was willing to, take it to him, go down in the trenches and be a dog on Jamal James. You know, Jamal James, he's a tall, long-rangey boxer. I've always saw some good skills in Jamal James, but there was just some things he lacked as far as his power and that inside strength. You know, he has a very good uppercut and, a very solid jab, but there's just something about the pop on his shots that he kind of lacks. You know, he can't get that full-on respect, and especially a guy like Butaev. I've seen a few of his fights. You know, he's a very rough and rugged fighter. He can fight southpaw or orthodox as well, but when he gets into that pocket, he can throw those big body shots, and that's what he really committed to in this fight. You know, he made the right adjustment against a very tall, long fighter and was just able to take him apart. Now the stoppage, was it questionable? We'll talk about that here in a minute, because I do feel like Jamal James, he took a lot of punishment, but at the same time, he still had his legs up under him, in my opinion. But yeah, real quick, man, Jamal James, I feel like he was owning the first 4 rounds. I mean, he was earning them, but at the same time, he was staying up on it. I think his jab was a lot sharper. He was fighting smart. He was continuing to put the jab in the face of Butaev. Beautiful uppercuts in that third and fourth round. He continued to, every time Butaev would step in, he would come up the middle with those uppercuts. Hell, there were a couple of times where he would throw it 3 times in a row, then follow up, end it with a left hook to the head. So I was really enjoying the skill that Jamal James is putting on as a tall, long fighter. But at the same time, Butaev, it wasn't like he was getting outboxed. He was continuing to put the pressure on and still land his own shots to the body of Jamal James. And, he was coming in with that straight left hand and starting to crack Jamal James. So Jamal was earning these rounds. He was boxing, but he was still getting hit. That's why Butaev's confidence never went away. He knew that eventually he could catch up with him if he continued to fight the dog fight. Because there were times with Jamal James in like the third and fourth, he would meet Butaev in the middle instead of just staying completely on the outside. He should have been tying up more. But at the same time, I can't blame him because Butaev, when you try to tie him up, he's rough, man. Like, he'll put that forearm to your face, or like some of the crazy tactics he was doing here, he was continuing to tie up and just hit, try to hit to the kidney. So I was impressed with what Jamal James could do the first 4 rounds. He definitely was outboxing. He was winning the first 4. But when we got into the 5th round, that's where it started to take a toll on Jamal James. Jamal James, like I said, boxing hard, but he was fighting hard. He was really having to give it his all in the first 4 rounds. That's what kind of wore him down because by that 5th round, Butaev was on him. He was putting that pressure on and he was constantly dogging him going to the body. But Butaev, this could have been his first round to win, but whenever he did that little spin, Jamal James turned around, he hit him from behind. So yeah, the ref took a point, and I was glad he did because at that point Butaev was kind of getting on my nerve with them rough tactics a little bit, and he knew he was turned around. He shouldn't have been doing that. So yeah, that cost him a point. So I still had Jamal James up, but by 6, 7, and 8, it was really favoring Butaev. He was just constantly putting the pressure on and digging to the body. I'd say in round 5, I think it was round 5 or it was round 5. He made the right adjustment where to get on the long reach, he leaped in with that southpaw like straight right or southpaw right hook, and he cracked Jamal James a couple of times with that shot. Then from 6, 7 and on, he continued to just let that shot go. He would leap in with it, hit him with that hard shot, kind of snap Jamal James' head, and then just continue with the left hook and just beat him to the body. And he continued to do that in 7 and 8. Now, we got in around 7, I felt like Jamal James was starting to get his second win. He was battered a little bit in the face, and like I said, starting to, look a little red around the body. But in round 9, he started to pick it back up. His work rate kind of went back up. He started landing shots. Started strong in the first minute, but then Butaev came on with a few good sequences with unanswered shots, and then the referee stepped in. I was like, this was Jamal James started to look like he was coming back. Like, he never looked completely out. The fight started to kind of balance out, and then it started to go into Butaev's way, I know, towards like 7 and 8. But I thought that Jamal James was showing a little bit more heart in 9. I would have gave him at least one more round. If he would have got his legs back under him in this round, then maybe, he could have went into the 10th. But yeah, I thought it was a little premature, but it was maybe for the best because, yeah, he was taking a lot of punishment. Even though Jamal James was landing a lot of good snapping uppercuts and jabs, you could see Butaev's shots were doing the most damage. So yeah, Butaev, he's the new WBA regular champion. I don't know how long they can keep on doing this with these regular super belt, super unleaded, whatever. I don't know how long they can keep doing these with these belts. But from here, like I said in my previous video, Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis wants to get his first title. This will be a good fight for him. I mean, I can't really think of anybody else for him, but yeah, I just think that Boots, if he wants to get a strap, and then kind of put his name out there, this is the next fight for him. This will be the next fight for him. In my opinion, I thought Boots should have been the main event. Honestly, I thought Boots, he was the main event. But yeah, since they were on the same card, match him up. Go ahead and match him up and let him get his first title. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got on this one. It was some good boxing matches this week. I got one more boxing match to talk about here in my next video. Definitely check this fight out too as well. Make sure y'all subscribe, boxing fans. Like I said, I'm going to come back talking more boxing. We got some good fights coming this weekend. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.